You hear one thing in speeches, and then you see a campaign that has the worst kind of tactics, reminiscent of the same sort of Republican attacks on Democrats. Well, I think that if your candidacy is going to be about words, then they should be your own words. That's, I think, a very simple proposition. And, lifting whole passages from someone else's speeches is not change you can believe in. It's change you can Xerox. And I just don't think. No, but Barack, it is.
That's what's at stake in this election. What's not at stake are any of us. All of us are going to be just fine, no matter what happens in this election. But what's at stake is whether America is going to be fine.
Whatever happens, we're going to be fine. We have strong support from our families and our friends. I just hope that we'll be able to say the same thing about the American people. Since when do Democrats attack one another on universal health care? Senator Obama's plan does not and cannot cover all Americans. He's called his plan universal, then he called it virtually universal. But it is not either. And when it comes to truth in labeling, it simply flunks the test. Just because Senator Obama chose not to present a universal health care plan does not give him the right to attack me because I did.
I have no problem, Hillary, with you pointing out areas where you think we have differences. But on health care, for example, the reason that I mandate for children is because children do not have a choice. Adults do. And it's my belief that they will choose to have health care if it is affordable. Now, that's a perfectly legitimate policy difference for us to have. That is different from saying that I will refuse to cover or leave out a bunch of individuals.
So let's have a real campaign. Enough with the speeches and the big rallies and then using tactics that are right out of Karl Rove's playbook. Let's just get everybody together. Let's get unified. The sky will open. The light will come down. Celestial choirs will be singing. And everyone will know we should do the right thing and the world will be perfect.
Let me just say a quick word about this. Senator Obama and I have differences. We do. We have a difference about health care, which he and I have talked about before. We have a fundamental difference about the way you bring about change. But both of us are powerful voices for change. I think that every time this happens, what will occur every time he speaks out for change, every time I fight for change, the forces of status quo are going to attack every single time. We need an unfiltered debate between the agents of change about how we bring about that change, because we have differences about that. I mean, I didn't hear these kind of attacks from Senator Clinton when she was ahead. Now that she's not, we hear them. And any time you speak out for change, this is what happens.
This is wrong, and every Democrat should be outraged, because this is the kind of attack that not only undermines core Democratic values, but gives aid and comfort to the very special interests and their allies in the Republican Party who are against doing what we want to do for America. So shame on you, Barack Obama. It is time you ran a campaign consistent with your messages in public.
Unlike some of the attacks that have been leveled about me that have been debunked by news organizations, these are accurate. Senator Clinton, as part of the Clinton administration, supported NAFTA. In her book, she called it one of the administration's successes. And we point that out in a state that has been devastated by trade and is deeply concerned about the position of candidates on trade. With respect to the health care mailer, she has been the one who has made this difference about mandates the centerpiece, not just of the health care debate, but practically her campaign. And what this mailer does is point out this difference that she herself surfaced and describes what the mandate that she's calling for would mean, which is that the government would force you to buy health care. That's indisputable. So the notion that somehow we're engaging in nefarious tactics, I think is pretty hard to swallow.